Chosen one. You are not here by accident. This moment has been marked in heaven and released into your timeline by divine appointment. Anointed one. Something has shifted in the unseen, and God has aligned your steps to hear this word right now. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural breakthrough, a holy transfer, where heaven funds what God has authored over your life. The worry that has followed you is losing its authority. The pressure you carried is being lifted. As it is written, the Lord supplies according to his riches in glory. Chosen one, prepare your spirit. This is not survival anymore. This is divine provision awakening. Chosen one, hear this clearly and let it settle deep in your spirit. What you're experiencing right now is not random pressure, not ordinary stress, and not just another difficult season. This is the moment when God steps directly into your timeline. Heaven is not observing from a distance. Heaven is intervening. Provision, clarity, and divine funding are being released in ways that do not follow human logic. The weight you have been carrying is being lifted, even if your circumstances have not fully caught up yet. The fear that used to whisper to you late at night is losing its authority. The delay that made you question your worth is dissolving under perfect divine timing. Chosen one. There is a realm you are entering now where God funds what he authors. This is where divine strategy meets supernatural supply. This is where what was written over your life begins to move from promise into manifestation. Scripture reminds us that God supplies according to his riches in glory, not according to earthly limitations. That truth is no longer theoretical for you. It is becoming lived experience. You are stepping into holy provision and divine alignment at the same time. These two always arrive together. When alignment comes, first, provision follows without struggle. I need you to understand something important. What is unfolding around you right now cannot be explained by effort alone. This is a divine transition, a holy rearranging of the atmosphere surrounding your life. You are being shifted out of survival mode and into a life carried by supernatural supply. And your spirit already knows this. That inner stirring you feel is not imagination. Something in you is remembering who you are and what you were prepared for long before this moment. For a long time, you lived from emergency to emergency. Bills, responsibilities, decisions, and fears piled up quietly. You stretched yourself thin, trying to make everything work through sheer determination. I know this place personally. I remember seasons where I woke up already tired, calculating how to stretch what I had just a little further. Outwardly, I looked functional. Inwardly, I carried silent pressure. But every time I reached the end of my strength, God revealed something to me. Heaven had already prepared provision I could not see yet. It never arrived the way I expected, but it always arrived on time. That same grace is rising over your life now. Heaven is not offering you temporary relief or quick fixes. This is not about barely getting by anymore. This is about overflow. Yes, resources are coming. Yes, money will show up at the right time. But God is releasing more than finances. Ideas are coming. Favor is coming. Peace is coming. Clarity is coming. Rest is coming. Solutions are being formed before the problem even fully appears. Chosen one. You did not chase this season. You did not force doors open. You did not manipulate outcomes. This is supernatural alignment. Heaven is adjusting you to what has always belonged to you through purpose. I have seen people bury their dreams because they believed their resources were too small or their timing was off. I once listened to someone share how they held onto a vision for nearly a decade, convinced the window had closed. Then suddenly, one ordinary moment unlocked everything. Their entire assignment was funded almost overnight. The only thing that changed was belief. They stopped surviving and started trusting. This is your invitation to believe again. What is coming to you is not payment for performance. It is release based on purpose. God is funding your future because your life carries weight. There is assignment on you. There is impact attached to your existence. You are not just being blessed, you are being entrusted. This is not the moment to shrink or doubt. Lift your head. Chosen one. Something is shifting. Something is awakening. Something is unlocking on your behalf. Pause here and let this truth settle. What felt delayed was being prepared, and what is prepared by heaven always arrives with power. Chosen one. What felt delayed in your life was never denied. It was being prepared in hidden places where your eyes could not follow, but heaven never lost sight of you. The silence you endured was not abandonment, it was alignment. God was not withholding, He was arranging. And now that arrangement is beginning to surface in ways that will make it impossible for you to doubt what is happening. You need to hear this with clarity. Heaven is restoring what you thought was lost. Time is being redeemed, energy is being returned, confidence is being rebuilt from the inside out. What you assumed disqualified you has become the very evidence of your readiness. God does not waste pain. He converts it into authority. He turns endurance into spiritual weight. That is why this season feels different. You're not fighting for survival anymore. You're being carried into provision. I remember a season where everything in my life looked stalled. I was doing the right things, showing up, staying faithful, yet nothing moved. I questioned myself quietly. I questioned timing. What I did not realize then was that God was removing my dependence on my own effort. He was teaching me to recognize supply before I saw results. And the moment that shift happened internally, everything externally began to align faster than I could explain. That is what is happening to you now. Your identity is shifting. And when identity shifts, provision follows naturally. God is not just giving you what you need. He is introducing you to what has always been yours. You are stepping into a dimension where lack no longer narrates your decisions. Fear no longer dictates your choices. You are learning how to receive without guilt and build without anxiety. Chosen one. Heaven is repositioning you from striving to surrender. This is not passive surrender. This is holy surrender. A posture that says, I may not see the path, but I trust the one guiding me. This is where supernatural supply flows freely. Provision that arrives before you ask. Opportunities that align without planning. Ideas that come fully formed, carrying peace instead of pressure. You will notice your thinking changing. Where you once overanalyzed, you will now discern. Where you once hesitated, you will now move with calm certainty. Conversations will open doors you were not trying to access. Solutions will surface in moments you least expect. This is heaven positioning you, not just blessing you. Blessing brings comfort. Positioning brings calling. Heaven is preparing you for influence. Not influence that overwhelms you, but influence that fits you. That is why God is strengthening you internally before expanding you externally. The blessing coming will not crush you because your foundation is being reinforced. You are learning how to carry peace before you carry increase. That order matters. Chosen one. You will begin to notice that old fears no longer have the same grip. Situations that once unsettled you will feel manageable. This is not numbness. This is maturity. You survived storms that should have taken you out. You endured seasons that could have broken you, and yet here you are, still standing, still believing, still moving forward. That resilience did not come from you alone. God was carrying you even when you thought you were walking alone. Now that revelation is settling into your spirit, a steadiness is forming within you. Not loud confidence, but quiet assurance. You are beginning to expect good instead of bracing for disappointment. You are learning to trust provision instead of anticipating lack. These are signs of a healed relationship with supply. Provision will no longer feel random. It will feel reliable. Blessings will begin to synchronize with your obedience. Resources will flow in ways that confirm God's promise rather than contradict your reality. And when you begin to recognize the patterns of how God provides, worry loses its grip. You stop obsessing over how because you are anchored in who, chosen. One God is not only providing for you, He is partnering with you. Heaven's economy is different from the world's system. It does not run dry. It does not delay without purpose. And when heaven sponsors your steps, acceleration follows alignment. Your life begins to move with grace instead of grinding. You are also becoming aware of your worth, not the kind tied to performance, but the kind rooted in identity. When you know your worth, you stop chasing validation. You stop tolerating environments that drain you. You begin to attract people and opportunities that honor what you carry. Boundaries will strengthen. Peace will become a priority. And this is not selfish. This is stewardship. God builds lasting things on protected foundations. Every elevation requires release, and every release creates space for something greater. Stay with me here, chosen one. What heaven is unfolding is not temporary. This is preparation for a mantle, and what comes next will require the version of you that is emerging right now. Chosen one, there is a recalibration happening inside you that cannot be rushed and cannot be reversed. You may not have asked for it consciously, but your spirit did. God responds to hunger long before words are formed. That is why certain things feel uncomfortable now. Old patterns feel tight. Familiar environments feel restrictive. This is not confusion. This is expansion. Heaven is pulling you out of what was familiar and preparing you for what is supernatural. And this elevation always begins within before it manifests without. You are being realigned at the root. The way you think, the way you respond, the way you see yourself in moments of pressure. God is rebuilding your inner foundation so that what is coming can rest on you without breaking you. I remember a time when things that once motivated me suddenly lost their pull. Conversations felt empty. Goals that used to excite me felt incomplete. At first, I thought something was wrong with me, but what was actually happening was growth. My spirit had outgrown what my flesh once depended on, and that same shift is happening in you now. Chosen one, heaven is maturing you for supernatural responsibility. This is not just about receiving more. It is about stewarding well. God does not give big blessings to small identities. He grows the person before He releases the promise. That is why your inner world is being upgraded. Your capacity is increasing, your discernment is sharpening, your peace is deepening. You will begin to think differently, not like someone trying to survive, but like someone called to build. Planning will no longer come from fear, but from faith. You will stop asking if something is possible and start asking if it is aligned. This shift in perspective is proof that divine strategy is flowing. Ideas will begin to arrive quietly, but with authority. Directions will appear that feel too precise to be coincidence. These are not random thoughts. They are heavenly blueprints being downloaded into your spirit. And when you follow them, results will exceed logic. Not because you are forcing outcomes, but because heaven is backing your obedience. There may still be moments where you question your readiness. You may look at what God is calling you to do and wonder why He chose you. I understand that feeling deeply. I have stood in places where the assignment felt larger than my confidence, but every time God reminded me of the same truth. He does not call the prepared. He prepares the called. Chosen one, He is preparing you now, strengthening areas of your character that once felt weak, healing wounds you forgot you carried, reframing your story so your past no longer defines your limits. The calling on your life is not too big. You were created for it. As this inner work continues, you will notice changes in your relationships. Certain people will appear at exactly the right time, carrying encouragement, wisdom, opportunity. These are not accidents, they are assignments. At the same time, some connections will fade quietly, not through conflict, but through alignment. This may feel strange, but trust this process. Heaven never removes without replacing. What is leaving was connected to who you were. What is coming aligns with who you are becoming, and what is coming carries more weight, more purpose, and more precision than what left. Chosen, one supernatural provision will begin to show up in ways that feel unreal. Opportunities will arise without explanation. Resources will appear without struggle. Solutions will form before problems fully surface. This is heaven's economy at work. You are no longer relying on the world system alone. You are being sustained by divine supply. Let this truth settle in your spirit. You are being transformed from the inside out for a reason. Heaven is preparing you to walk in a blessing that matches your calling, your obedience, and your destiny. This is not random increase. This is intentional alignment. You may also notice emotions surfacing, habits being challenged, old responses rising to be released. This is not punishment. This is purification. God is clearing your inner atmosphere so elevation does not crush you, but crowns you. You are becoming more sensitive spiritually, more aware of what drains you and what feeds you, more discerning of environments, conversations, and intentions. This sensitivity is not weakness, it is refinement. Heaven is tuning your spirit so you can hear divine instruction clearly. With this sensitivity comes accountability. God is not only blessing you, He is building you. There will be moments when heaven nudges you forward and moments when heaven restrains you. Both are protection. When God is funding your future, He will not allow you to waste energy on assignments that are not yours. Chosen one. Your vision is expanding. What once felt too big now feels possible. What once intimidated you now feels familiar. This is because your capacity has grown. Heaven is activating your purpose with urgency and care. Stay present in this process. Do not rush it. Do not resist it. What is forming in you now is preparing you for what comes next. And what comes next will require the version of you that is rising right now. Chosen one, as this elevation continues, you may begin to notice a quiet authority settling over your life. Not something you announce, not something you force. It is simply carried. You will speak differently. You will show up differently. You will make decisions with a steadiness that surprises even you. This is not confidence borrowed from circumstances. This is authority rooted in alignment. There was a time in my own journey when I waited for permission. Permission to step forward. Permission to believe bigger. Permission to trust what I sensed in my spirit. And I did not realize that heaven had already approved what I was hesitating to walk into. The delay was never God. It was my fear of being seen carrying what He had placed on me. When that fear broke, movement followed. Chosen. 1. You are no longer waiting for approval. Heaven has already given it. You will feel it in moments when you would have shrunk before and now you stand. You will notice it when situations that once intimidated you no longer control your posture. This authority will make some people uncomfortable, not because you are doing anything wrong, but because your growth exposes where they have chosen to remain. Do not be shaken by their reactions. Elevation is not about being understood. It is about being aligned. Those who are meant to walk with you will adjust to the new version of you. Those who cannot were never assigned to this next chapter. Heaven is unveiling. And unveiling always brings separation. As heaven expands your authority, it will also expand your vision. You will begin to see possibilities where you once saw limitations. Ideas you dismissed as unrealistic will return with clarity. Goals you buried because of fear or lack will resurface with direction. This is heaven awakening the builder within you. You were not called to merely survive life. You were called to shape it. And now that the fog of fear is lifting, your creativity, your insight, and your spiritual instincts are sharpening. This awakening is not random. It is preparation for stewardship. God is entrusting you with more because you are ready to carry it. Chosen 1. Your desire for purpose will intensify. You will feel a pull toward what aligns with your assignment and a growing disinterest in what drains your spirit. Environments that once felt normal may now feel too small. Habits that once comforted you may now feel heavy. This is not loss. This is clarity. Heaven will not allow you to settle in spaces that shrink your spirit. Your calling is too significant to be confined. And as you step out of these old spaces, you will discover that heaven has already prepared new ones. Spaces where your voice is valued, where your gifts are honored, where your anointing is recognized. This transition will also deepen your trust. You will begin to move with confidence, not because you know every detail, but because you know who is guiding you. Trust becomes your language. Peace becomes your posture. Surrender becomes your strength. You will stop trying to control outcomes and start flowing with divine timing. This does not mean effort disappears. It means fear does. You will work without worry. You will build without breaking under pressure. You will move forward not because the path is easy, but because your spirit is certain. Heaven is not preparing you for a moment. Heaven is preparing you for a mantle, and mantles carry weight, influence, responsibility. That is why God has been refining you quietly, strengthening your character, purifying your motives, teaching you how to rest even while expanding. Everything you are becoming is aligning you with everything you are called to do. Chosen 1. You may feel a deeper stirring in your spirit now, a sense that something sacred is unfolding beneath the surface of your everyday life. This is not emotional excitement. This is confirmation. Heaven has shifted your timeline. Your path is opening. Your steps are aligning. You may not see the full picture yet, but you can feel the momentum, the invisible pull forward, the inner push that keeps guiding you. This is heaven saying you are ready now, not almost ready, ready now. As this momentum builds, your inner dialogue will change. Where you once doubted, you will now believe. Where you once feared lack, you will now expect provision. Where you once hesitated, you will now move with courage. This inner transformation is the clearest evidence that heaven has touched your life. You are no longer led by scarcity. You are led by destiny. Old narratives are being untangled. Fear-based thinking is being dismantled. Your spirit is becoming present, aware, and awake. Ordinary moments will carry meaning. Casual conversations will feel purposeful. You will begin to see God in the details. This awareness will anchor you. You will stop chasing opportunities. Opportunities will begin to gravitate toward you. Not because of arrogance, but because of alignment. When you walk in your true identity, life responds differently. Doors will open with ease. People will recognize what you carry. Projects will move forward with grace. Heaven will amplify your effort, multiply your resources, and accelerate your progress. Stay steady here, chosen one. What is unfolding is building momentum, and what comes next will require the authority, clarity, and trust that is forming in you right now. Chosen one, with this acceleration comes a deeper responsibility, and heaven is handling you with care. Influence is increasing, but so is discernment. God is not only opening doors, He is teaching you which ones to walk through and which ones to leave untouched. This is the season where wisdom protects your momentum. There was a time when I said yes to everything because I thought opportunity was rare. I learned the hard way that alignment is more valuable than access. Not every open door is assigned. Not every invitation is divine. And when I learned to listen instead of rushing, peace became my confirmation. That is the same lesson unfolding for you now. Chosen one, rest is becoming part of your calling. Not rest that avoids responsibility, but rest that removes fear. You are learning how to move without panic, build without burnout, and progress without pressure. This rest will guard your mind, steady your heart, and preserve your spirit. When you operate from rest, you operate from revelation. Discernment will sharpen. You will know where to invest your energy and where to pull it back. Distractions will lose their pull. Old temptations will fade. The noise around you will quiet so you can hear your divine rhythm. This clarity is a gift. It is heaven guiding you toward what is next. Everything in your life is rising to meet the calling on your spirit. You are being shaped, stretched, strengthened, and aligned in ways you once prayed for. This is not a season you stumbled into. It is a season heaven scheduled for you. And as you walk in this new identity, you will understand why things unfolded the way they did. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Every delay refined you. Every setback trained you. Every closed door redirected you. You are stepping into a moment where hindsight brings healing, insight brings peace, and foresight brings confidence. Your past will no longer haunt you. It will serve you as proof that God carried you all along. Chosen one. Your relationship with provision is being healed. You are learning to see supply as consistent rather than unpredictable. Patterns are forming. Timing is synchronizing. What once felt random now feels orchestrated. And when you recognize how God provides, worry loses its grip. You stop obsessing over methods and rest in the provider. This revelation brings authority, not arrogance, but assurance. You will walk differently, speak differently, decide with clarity that surprises you. You will say no to what once drained you and yes to what once intimidated you. Boldness will feel natural because it is rooted in identity. Spiritual authority is not announced, it is carried. And as you carry it, influence will rise. People will seek your insight and your presence without you trying to be seen. The light within you is becoming undeniable. Heaven has been polishing you in private, and now the shine is becoming visible. You may have felt hidden or overlooked for a long time. That was not punishment. It was preparation. A seed is hidden before it grows, a diamond is buried before it shines, and a chosen one is concealed before being revealed. That revealing is beginning now. As influence grows, your sense of mission will deepen. You will feel a pull to uplift others, to speak life where you once stayed silent, to guide people through storms you survived. This is part of your assignment. God does not elevate you to isolate you. He positions you to carry breakthrough for others. Your testimony will become a bridge. Your endurance will become oil. What you overcame will anoint those assigned to your life. This is the beginning of supernatural synchronization. Your inner world and your outer world are starting to agree. Faith and reality are merging. Prayer and outcome are aligning. Heaven is weaving together moments, people, resources, and opportunities with precision. Nothing is accidental now. Everything is intentional. The more you yield, the more effortless your elevation becomes. You are standing at the threshold of divine momentum. What begins in this season will multiply. Heaven is not giving you a moment. Heaven is giving you a mantle. And when a mantle rests on a chosen one, resistance loses authority. You will feel the atmosphere around your life changing. What felt heavy will feel lighter. What felt blocked will begin to flow. You will notice peace following you into rooms where anxiety used to lead. Conversations that once unsettled you will now confirm your clarity. Decisions that once overwhelmed you will now move with ease. This is heaven stabilizing you from within. You are no longer reacting to circumstances. You are responding to divine instruction. Fear is losing its influence. Discernment is taking its place. This internal shift is one of the greatest miracles God performs. It allows you to walk through storms without losing your footing. Stay present, chosen one. What is forming now is protecting what is coming next. The authority, rest, and discernment rising within you are preparing you to carry what heaven is releasing, and what comes next will require exactly who you are becoming right now. Chosen one. A new stillness is settling within you, and this stillness is not emptiness or hesitation. It is the quiet assurance that you are exactly where heaven intended you to be. This peace did not come because everything around you resolved. It came because alignment was established within you. When alignment forms, circumstances begin to respond. There was a season in my own life when I thought peace would arrive only after answers came. I believed rest was the reward at the end of struggle. But I learned that peace is not the result of control. It is the fruit of trust. The moment I released the need to manage outcomes, heaven began arranging details I could never have planned. Chosen one. That same lesson is becoming real for you now. You are being trained to move without panic and to build without burnout. Rest is becoming part of your calling, not inactivity, but sacred rest that removes fear from your decisions. When you operate from rest, you operate from revelation instead of reaction. As this rest deepens, your discernment is sharpening. You will know where to place your energy and where to withdraw it. Distractions will lose their appeal. Noise will quiet. You will begin to hear your divine rhythm more clearly. This clarity is a gift that protects momentum. Heaven is also healing your relationship with provision. You are learning to expect supply instead of bracing for lack. Provision will no longer feel random. It will feel reliable. Patterns will begin to emerge, showing you that God has always been consistent, even when outcomes felt delayed. This shift brings authority. not loud authority, but steady authority. You will walk into spaces differently. You will speak with calm confidence. Decisions that once overwhelmed you will now feel clear. This is not self-confidence, it is God-confidence. Chosen one influence is increasing quietly. People will begin to feel drawn to you not because you seek attention, but because alignment attracts. You are becoming a carrier of divine atmosphere. Your presence will bring peace into rooms that once carried tension. Heaven is guarding your environment in this season. Some access will be removed. Some plans will dissolve. This is not loss, it is protection. God protects what He promotes. You may also notice gratitude deepening within you. Not shallow gratitude for visible results, but mature gratitude for unseen preparation. Gratitude that recognizes closed doors as mercy and delays as wisdom. This gratitude is anchoring your spirit. Chosen one. You are stepping into a realm where peace is your baseline, clarity is your norm, and provision flows in rhythm with obedience. This is spiritual maturity. This is preparation for stewardship. What is forming now is not temporary. It is foundational. Stay present. Stay surrendered. Stay aligned. The calm you feel today is preparing you to carry the abundance that is coming tomorrow. Heaven is steadying you now, so the weight of future blessings will not overwhelm your spirit or purpose. Chosen one. As this season reaches deeper into your life, you will begin to understand something that once felt distant. Heaven is not just helping you survive. Heaven is teaching you how to steward abundance without fear. This is why your inner world has been the focus. God always prepares the container before He releases the overflow. You may notice now that pressure feels different. It no longer threatens you, it stretches you. This is not regression. This is expansion. Just like a seed pressing through soil, what you feel is life, breaking through limitation. Do not resist this moment. Birth always carries pressure, but it also carries purpose. There were times in my own journey when pressure made me think something was wrong. I thought peace meant the absence of stretching. I learned instead that peace is the assurance that stretching has meaning. Once I understood that fear lost its voice. That same understanding is settling into you now. Chosen one. You are being tuned to operate on a higher frequency. Fear cannot survive here. Doubt cannot dominate here. Scarcity cannot breathe here. Your spirit is becoming steady, anchored, and deeply rooted in truth. This recalibration is necessary because what heaven is releasing into your life requires stability, discernment, and trust. You are not merely being blessed, you are being transformed so the blessing can rest on you without crushing you. This inner strengthening is the unseen miracle that makes visible miracles sustainable. Heaven is performing this work with precision because your calling carries weight. As this transformation continues, clarity will sharpen. Thoughts that once felt tangled will untangle. Decisions that once overwhelmed you will simplify. Wisdom will rise quietly, not loudly, but with authority. You will know when to move and when to wait without anxiety. This is the fruit of alignment. When heaven aligns your spirit with its rhythm, confusion loses its authority. You stop reacting from emotion and start responding from revelation. You stop chasing outcomes and start following instruction. And the more you honor this clarity, the more heaven trusts you with greater insight. Chosen one. Your past is also being redeemed in your sight. Pain that once felt pointless is revealing its purpose. Losses that once broke you are showing you the strength they built in you. Delays that once frustrated you are proving to be protection. Nothing from your past will haunt you in this new season. It will serve you. You are gaining hindsight with healing insight, with peace, and foresight with confidence. This is reshaping how you relate to provision. Supply will no longer feel unpredictable. It will feel intentional. Patterns will emerge. Timing will make sense. And when you recognize heaven's patterns, worry dissolves. Provision becomes personal when you know the provider. As this revelation deepens, your posture will change. You will walk differently, speak differently, decide differently, not from pride, but from authority. Authority rooted in knowing you are backed by heaven. You will say no to what once drained you and yes to what once intimidated you. Boldness will feel natural because it flows from identity, not effort. Spiritual authority does not need to announce itself. It is felt. Chosen one. What is unfolding now is irreversible. You have crossed a threshold internally. The old survival mindset cannot return because you have tasted peace. You have felt alignment. You have experienced divine momentum. This is the chapter where heaven is not only providing for you, but partnering with you. Where blessing flows through you, not just to you. Where purpose is no longer something you chase, but something you embody. Stay aligned, stay surrendered, stay receptive. What is forming now is setting the stage for the final unveiling of this season. And what comes next will make it undeniable that God has been funding your life all along. Chosen one. This is the moment where everything you have felt internally begins to surface externally. What was forming in silence is now ready to move in power. Heaven does not rush its work, but when alignment is complete, acceleration follows. You are stepping into that acceleration now. You may notice that fear no longer has the authority it once held. The same situations that used to drain you no longer control your emotions. This is not because life has become easier, but because your spirit has become anchored. Anchored spirits do not panic, they discern. I remember standing in seasons where nothing around me looked secure, yet something inside me felt unshakable. That was the moment I realized God had already funded what He was calling me to walk into. The provision came later, but the certainty came first. That certainty is settling into you now. Chi 1. Heaven is shifting you from preparation into participation. You are no longer rehearsing faith, you are living it. Decisions will begin to align quickly. Doors will open with clarity. Resources will respond to obedience. This is not coincidence, it is covenant. You are learning to trust divine timing without needing constant confirmation. Peace has become your witness. When peace remains, heaven is present. This is how you will know which steps to take next. As this season unfolds, remember this truth. God does not fund panic. He funds purpose. He does not invest in fear. He invests in obedience. And because your heart has stayed soft, surrendered, and willing, heaven has marked you as trustworthy. What comes next will not look like struggle. It will look like flow. Not effortless living, but divinely supported living. You will work, but you will not worry. You will build, but you will not break. You will give, and you will not fear depletion. Chosen one, this is your confirmation. Heaven is with you. Heaven is for you. Heaven is ahead of you. Walk forward without apology. Carry what God has placed on you with humility and courage. The season of survival has ended. Chosen one, as we come to the close of this sacred moment, let your spirit rest in this truth. Heaven has already moved. You are not late. You are not behind. You are standing in your exact Kairos moment, the divinely appointed time where what God promised begins to manifest in real and tangible ways. This is not emotional inspiration. This is spiritual confirmation. A supernatural transfer is already in motion. What was prepared in silence is now unfolding with precision. The worry you carried is being replaced with assurance. The pressure you felt is giving way to peace. God is funding your life because He authored your assignment. Anointed One, walk forward now with reverence and quiet confidence. Stay aligned with the flow of the anointing. Guard your heart. Protect your peace. Remain faithful in the small instructions because heaven trusts you with greater weight. Look ahead not with fear, but with gratitude for what is already forming beyond what your eyes can see. May clarity rest on your mind. May peace anchor your spirit. May provision meet you at every step. May doors open with ease. May divine favor surround you like a shield. What has begun in your spirit will not fade. It will multiply. The path before you is blessed. The wind behind you is holy, and the hand of God is steady upon your life. If this word resonated with your spirit, you may leave a simple declaration of faith in the comments as an act of agreement. And if you feel led, share this message with another chosen one who needs confirmation in this hour. Remain connected, stay aligned, walk boldly, be blessed, chosen one. Heaven has already approved what is coming next.